business with you. They break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. They come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I'm glad you could join us tonight on this lovely Monday night. Remember, viewers, we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago presently. So what I want you to do is call your friends, call your family, let them know Real Talk is going live on Synergy Network presently. Now, if you can't come to the television, you could go on your phone, on YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. On Facebook, it's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So if you're not in front of your television set, you're on your computer, you're on your phone, we are there with you from 7 to 8 p.m. Remember that, and it's nightly. Now we also have a rerun the next day for who missed the show in the night. From 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember that, viewers. On the social media platform, we are there. Just for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and those of your friends abroad. Now, remember we are a licensed money lending company. Those of you looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. You can contact us. Our number will be on screen shortly, viewers. So remember, we have been in the lending business for quite some time, viewers. We also have an investment company. You want to invest with us, it's not a problem. You can get 4% per year. You do that for 5 years, you can multiply your interest on a yearly base. Remember that. Also, those of you who have US currency to sell, it's not a problem. Real Talk is buying. So you want to get the highest rate on the US? Contact our office, or you can even contact me at 339-1670. We are buying. We're not selling, we are buying. Keep that in mind. So last week, viewers, I was in Guyana. Remember I told you that Real Talk Finance and Investment will be opening a branch in Guyana. Yes, it's opening very soon. I was there all week last week. I came back Friday morning. We had our Saieed's backyard cookout on Friday. It was a blast. I'm sure you had fun looking on. Remember, viewers, we try to do it every Friday. Just for you. Something laid back, something that was missing in Trinidad and Tobago, the backyard cookout. So, it's back to our programming. The Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited should be charged for corporate manslaughter, which is one of 52 recommendations from the 380-page report produced by Jeremy Lynch Casey, chairman of the Commission of Inquiry into the Paria pipeline tragedy, which led to the death of 4 divers on February 25, 2022. The report, which submitted to President Christine Kangaloo on November 30th, was laid in Parliament by Energy Minister Stuart Young. Recommendation 40 to the Director of Public Prosecution stated that on the evidence before this tribunal, there are sufficient ground to conclude that Paria neglected or negligence could be characterized as gross negligence and consequently criminal charges. Recommendation number 41 asks that the DPP consider charging Paria with what is commonly known as corporate manslaughter, the death of the diver, or the death of the public foreshore which sees. Now I'm going to tell you something. This cost Trinidad and Tobago, this Commission of Inquiries cost Trinidad and Tobago $15.5 million. The report said there was enough evidence for prosecution for both Paria Fuel Operation Manager Colin Pfeiffer and LMCS Saieed Ali Sr. Individuals and Paria and LMCS also employees for a offense under the OSHA Act. Even under the OSHA Act too, so keep that in mind. Meanwhile, Vanessa Kosi, widow of Rishi Nagesar, stated that the company should now support all the families affected by the tragedy for the rest of their lives. So I heard today that some individuals from the company wants to resign. So you're going to tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, that those in authority who refuse to act now gets to resign and just go home just so? Just like that? But nevertheless, we will leave that for our next day. So hear this now. Lead counsel for Paria Dive-In Tragedy Commission of Inquiries, Ramis Lawrence Maraj, have stated that there is legal precedent in the Trinidad and Tobago for the company to be charged with corporate manslaughter. While he could not recall the specific matter of that case, Maraj stated that there is legal precedent. Ramadan said only the DPP has the authority and power to lay a charge of corporate manslaughter. Maraj was asked about the sufficient of time to have these charges filed. Given the 1 month gap, he added, if the law prescribed a particular time for a charge to be filed and the deadline passes, then the charge will be null and void and of no effect. Ramada also welcomed the long-awaited laying of the 520-page report, which had several delays. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. So viewers, these just updates. We're going to wait and see what is the next step from the DPP office to the Paria company. We're going to wait and see. Just a little update. Sergeant Kevin Jones have stated that a total of 593 persons have applied for permit for pepper spray since Parliament made it legal 3 years ago. How many got pepper spray permits in Trinidad and Tobago? Now, in order to get that pepper spray permit in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to go and do a certificate of character. Do you know that there is no certificate of character being offered in Trinidad and Tobago presently? How many of you know that? I don't know what's wrong with this system in Trinidad and Tobago, but you cannot get a certificate of character. You cannot get a certificate of character in Trinidad and Tobago presently. It's sad, you know. It's stinking sad. A simple thing as a certificate of character to renew your permit or to go for a job, you cannot get it. Well done, TTPS. Well done. We're moving forward. We're moving forward, Trinidad and Tobago. Like I said, 2024 for Real Talk, we're going to be demanding. We are going to be holding those members of parliament that are members of constituency. We are going to be holding them responsible now for their constituency. Keep that in mind. I want to let you keep that in mind. We're moving on to health. Minister of Health, Saieed Ali, have stated that measures are in place in the public healthcare system for an increase in COVID-19 cases and is calling on persons to not over-exaggerate the situation. The Ali explained that COVID-19 is not yet an epidemic where the virus circulates and affects people at known pace at a baseline level. He stated that all infectious prevention control protocols are active and practiced, and the ministry has more than adequate supply of protective personal equipment, PPE, for our healthcare workers. The Alsing continued, we continue to do PCR and antigen testing. Listen to the health minister.
Please allow me a second to explain that COVID-19, while not yet endemic, and endemicity means that the virus circulates and affects people at a certain known baseline level, and also threatens the healthcare system. So knowing that the virus is not yet endemic, we had our contingency plans in place, and they are: 1, a fully commissioned staff and operational inpatient hospital capacity of 272 beds, of which 13, less than 5%, are currently occupied at 3 hospitals across Trinidad. Our IPC, Infection Prevention Control Protocols, are active and practiced. We have more than an adequate supply of protective personal equipment for our healthcare workers. We continue to do PCR and antigen testing. All this is in an effort to treat COVID-19 patients as the question is posed.
So now trying to make Ole would love this one. Ole would love this one. And I said Georgia again, you know. And I said Georgia again. Ole would love this one trying to make. The minister was questioned on why he did not warn persons of the new increase of the COVID-19 cases. But the question was not allowed by Speaker of the House, and I said George. Ole, listen to this.
Member for Caroni East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, given that cases in the U.S. have been surging since November of 2023, why didn't the Ministry of Health put citizens on notice of an increased risk of COVID-19 infection due to the influx of travelers into TNT from the U.S.?
Member, according to the standing orders, that is not permissible as a supplemental question. Member.
They are saying talking about COVID in the House. But Anna said George didn't find it fit for the minister to answer that question on why the public was not put on notice. I believe if Trinidad and Tobago did put on notice, we would not have all that debt in December and January. So Anna said George, so what do you think? Fire should be burning down in Trinidad and Tobago, and we the citizens must not be on notice. A virus spreading through our country. People, we now start to die from it again. And the citizens must not be aware of it. I'm asking you, Anaset. So I want to know now from Anaset George's point of view, when actually should the minister in the Ministry of Health now come out and tell the people we have COVID-19 in Trinidad? When 100 people die, some should be a family. They quite telling you, Anaset, some should be a family in it and all stay hush mouth. If you're vexed, that's your damn business. That is your damn business if you're vexed. I say what I have to say. Because if COVID-19 is crawling in into Trinidad and Tobago again, or resurfacing in Trinidad and Tobago, the Minister of Health has all rights to come out and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to brace themselves what could be another surge of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. Did he do that? No. All things are in place. That is what he said. How much died in December month? That Minister of Health ain't come out and tell earlier. How much died in January? And the Minister of Health ain't come out and tell earlier. But you know, side ain't go keep it hush mouth. Because when COVID had really rocked Trinidad and Tobago, them clumps and them didn't have a plan. Including Anaset George, who turned down all the questions that the UNC opposition raised for the Minister of Health. Let me tell you something. Anaset George helped the Minister of Health get away from a lot of questions. Everybody saw it last year. Year before, everybody saw it. Hence the reason why I say now, when COVID hit now, some other family should die from it. Oh, side don't say that. They should drop dead with COVID-19. Because of the fact that all the lackadaisical thinking into warning the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, it should happen to all you. Let me tell you something. God has been good to me, you know. God has been good to me. I tell it all that on national television. God has been good to me. Hence the reason why I could talk like this on national television. Caller, good night.
Saeed, President, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Saeed, they got rid of Deborah Felix, who was doing an excellent job. You know, they wouldn't move, and he said, George, who is a big waste of time in
Waste of
Parliament.
time.
Because when you see they are puppets to the state, that is the nonsense they keep talking and doing, and they're getting away with it. But Deborah Felix, she ain't no puppet to nobody. She say it and see it as it is. So they got rid of her. But God bless her, something better will come. My second point, You see this same Paria business with these young fellas that died down their side. You see how long it took?
Correct.
You see you see, you know them hamsters just go around and around and around.
Yep.
That is what they're doing now, right? Now what Roger Gaspard had to do with this? From the initial stages, that should have been sent to Roger Gaspard.
Long time.
Now they want Roger Gaspard to spin a wand and decide what to do with them fellas and them, all of them from George, the same, and he said George, from her husband go back. You hear? All of them should be fired with no salary and no pension. But you know what? They're going to run and resign. Quick, to save the hungry behind. Because you see that family, those families that stay hungry, Saeed,
yes,
those poor children, while George and all of them and Rowley, all of them whining and dining and golfing and enjoying life to the fullest, those people, those widows and those children were left hungry. How long now this board meeting going on to decide who wrong and who right? Up to now they can't say who wrong and who right. Right?
Correct.
You see what they're going to get at the end of the day? It's going to Parliament, and then poor Roger Gaspard now, they want to drop it in his hand. So he will be like Pontius Pilate. Right? That is the end of this, because what Roger Gaspard going to do? I hope Roger Gaspard then take bait from them and let them decide what they're doing and to feed those hungry children and those widows that waiting patiently. I hope they get something. God help them. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, just before we go on the break, how much died in December, how much died in January? While Anna said George blocking the Alsing from answering why he did not warn the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this. In a media release, the Ministry of Health said, for the period December 23rd, 2023 to January 15, 2024, 5 persons died or 5 deaths were recorded. What death is this? Well, let come that Trinidad and Tobago. Isn't that the flu? Oh, is it flu? Who tell you it's the flu? Get your act together. As of January 18th, 2024, 6 deaths were recorded, 4 which occupied in January 2024. So ask Anna said George now, if she should still prevent Parents the Alsing from answering the question why he did not warn the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago since November. You know, I go come out and tell you as it is. Everybody else go afraid to talk because they're afraid some police bust down their door. I will tell you point blank, bust down my door, I will rot the same hand you break my door up with. You have a problem with that? You have a problem with me talking the truth? Break down my door and you go see something. Play stupid and break down my door. Play your hand power and oh God, you know what? As the police, they say to break down the door, we go and break down the door. Break down my door and you go see something. All you feel like is galavant? All you feel like galavanting? I'm not here on island to break down the door and then do nothing, you know. Touch my door. And the same hand you touch the door with, you will never move the hand as long as you live. Me asking you, I'm telling you. So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear Kamala Wants state of emergency to fight crime right after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, hear this, eh? The Alsing also confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago has detected its first known case of JN.1 variant. Now, the ministry noted that the country has seen a small increase in COVID-19 cases as the TNT is also battling with influenza and respiratory illness. The Alsing also revealed that 795 doses of COVID-19 vaccine had to be destroyed due to expiry date. How much millions of US dollars have been spent for expired COVID-19 vaccine? How much? Oh, let's talk now, man. All I want to talk? Talk now, man. We go talk. This is real talk, you know. So here this now. We're moving down to Kamala. So since, before I go to Kamala, since the Alsing come out and admit COVID-19 cases on the rise, why did Bridget Anisette George prevent the Alsing from answering the question, why didn't he warn Trinidad and Tobago since November? All I talk now, all I want to talk, Anisette George, I want you to open your mouth. I want you to yap your mouth now in Parliament. Yap your mouth now. Cases on the rise. Minister of Health refused to warn Trinidad and Tobago, but you saying that you shouldn't answer the question? Let me tell you, all your souls should get COVID. Yes, I saying it. So I say all the souls should get it. Excuse me. Now, shifting gears a bit. You know me, the truth is the truth, you know, and one thing I will tell you is the truth, you know. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar have stated that what is needed now, among all the other suggestions, is a fight against crime as a state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
What is needed now, amongst all the other suggestions, is a state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. Everything else has been tried and tested, and I think Captain Griffith will also agree with us, given what we achieved. Whilst many condemned us for putting that state of emergency, I remember one weekend there were 11 murders in one weekend. And we call all the national security people together. What do? You have all the laws on the books. You have all the schools. You have all the social grants. Ministry of Social Development. You have all these other things we are speaking about. And you know what made the difference? The state of emergency that we instituted. Yes, we got a lot of pong for it, but you know what happened? The crime went down. It worked in Trinidad and Tobago. So I ask you to consider that as we go forward for these crime talks, and we'll have further discussions on it. It is not something that the opposition can do, but it is something that is really definitely needed at this time. If we are to feel safer, as you say, Dr. Ampasad, you know, everybody is living in fear, crime is affecting everyone.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, Pacific has also noted the issue with the guns, which is coming in through the legal and illegal port of entry in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this now.
So where are these guns coming from? Yeah. What then do we need to do? What the professor said to us, and he really had to skim through that part, and we certainly take your whole treatise today. I noticed on the screen, Prof, that you talked about what we do at our ports. Where are the guns coming from? They're not coming from the sky. They're coming through ports, whether the legal ports or the not legal ports, and therefore borders. The issue of our very porous borders. And I remember former Minister of National Security under our watch, Captain Griffith, and the team we had there, that we were very concerned about the very porous borders and how do we block these guns from coming in.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Short and sweet, my friend.
The imitation vaccine vigor.
Talk to me.
And I'm using your station to talk to the real vaccine vigor. And I don't want to be offensive, but his tongue needs washing. He continued to display a demeanor that is offensive, and he continued to abuse women. His body language tells us that. You know, there is a prime minister who was called Basil Pandyan. You know what he did? He gave a piece of land so something can be done for battered women. And here you have a leader who has no zip for his mouth, continue to do that. And I'm asking, and I'm looking forward to all the women's group to hear they will respond to him. I'm looking after Brian Manning to hear what he has to say. And Rishi Sukai, Sinanan, all of them have to come out and tell their leader he cannot display the demeanor that Manning brought to our attention. A bully, out of order, disrespectful, I'll go on side because I don't want to use the DM word.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, hear this, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has dismissed the leader of the opposition call for the state of emergency. Speaking during a post-cabinet media briefing, Rowley stated that the government does not believe an SOE in TNT's best option and does not want to do anything to disturb the economic recovery. Cheese, listen to this.
The government has been looking at all options all along the way, and we do not believe that a state of emergency is something that is our best option at this time, because there are a number of downsides to it, not the least of which we would want to do nothing to disrupt the economic recovery that we have been working towards and hoping to experience more going forward.
Well, Dr. Rowley, the state of the economy right now, it really needs recovering. And to be honest, Trinidad and Tobago is on the brink of giving up everything already. Everything, because at any point in time, any bandit breaking into your house, and if you kill one of the bandits in your house, the homeowner be in charge. So the citizens are ready to give up, and you and your team up there just watching down and skinning all the gum. All the skinning all the gum, all they have a mouth to talk, all on the platform talking, with no action. With no action. The Commissioner of Police, they have a plan. So if the Commissioner of Police they have a plan, it brings shame to the Ministry of National Security, also to the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago. It brings shame to all you, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but worldwide. All they want to go and talk gun talk with all different countries. Let me tell you something. We have 1.4 million people in this country, a 2x2 country, and all your bald head can't even fix it. Mine bald too. All your bald head can't even fix it. We have a Minister of National Security saying, it is not my job to secure Trinidad and Tobago. Whose job is it? Whose job is it, Fitzgerald? The dog you're minding, that's his job? Asking a question, that's his job? But you're only making yourself look like clowns on a ministerial position. I will tell you as it is. Now, the PNM claimed that the 2011 SOE implemented by the People's Partnership Government resulted in lawsuit against the state, costing taxpayers millions. Yet, when Prasad Bissessa and the former AG were required to put in an affidavit to the court on why the SOE was called, they refused. Listen to this.
2 people, one of whom is still now here, advocating state of emergency. Opposition leader was then Prime Minister. And of course, Anand Ramlogan, who was Attorney General. They were required to put in an affidavit to the court to tell the court the basis for the state of emergency that these people were complaining about, where their rights were abridged and infringed. You know what happened? The 2 public officials who did that, when the lawsuit started to flow and evidence was required, in the way I just mentioned, they just flatly refused to put in an affidavit in defense of the state's action which they generated to fight crime in this country. Knowing that if they did that, it will allow taxpayers' money. If they didn't cooperate with the state case, taxpayers' money would flow to the criminals.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he also dismissed it as a ridiculous or ridicules to the Prasad Bissessa claim that those using guns are being protected by the government. Listen to this.
The ridiculous level it comes down to in the general discourse, maybe out of frustration, is when the opposition leader says, well, these people who are using firearms and guns and getting involved in criminality in the country, could it be that they are being protected by the government? What a ridiculous statement. Especially when that statement comes after crime talks. That is part of the crime talks. That criminals are being protected by the government, and the crime talks are meant to tease that out to find out if that is so.
I'll tell you something. Keith Rowley is the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago. Fitzgerald Hines is the Minister of National Security for Trinidad and Tobago. Earl Christopher Haywood is the Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago. And when the 3 of them had put together in one, these 3, or these trios, they cannot come up with one plan to fix crime in Trinidad and Tobago. After how many years? Earl? Hear this now. However, he said, there was no UNC response on its team, and all they got was a letter of bombast and personal attacks on the members of our team. Listen to this.
I could call the names of the people in the PNM team that I identified, and the Attorney General to lead the group, which should have been the PNM team and the opposition team. So this talk about the 2 parties named teams, that is news to me. My understanding is that there was a PNM team named to have these talks. There was no UNC response of any team named to take part. As a matter of fact, the Attorney General, who was authorized to call the group together and to get the talks going, actually wrote to the opposition leader indicating that we were ready to meet with her team, whether it's led by her or not, doesn't matter, but we were ready, and of course we got no response. What we got was a lot of bombast and personal attacks on the members of our team, and of course personality, the usual situation where personalities supersede situations and institutions, and nothing has happened with that.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going for a short commercial, coming back after this, but when we come back, we're going to hear Rowley wants to allocate $100 million to fight crime. And who is this $100 million going to? When we come back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
So Trinidad and Tobago, hot topic in our country. The government don't have money to spend on roads and bridges and schools. But Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that he will direct Minister of Finance Clungenbert to allocate $100 million to be spent by the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force in certain communities where development is stemmed by crime. Speaking at the PNM public meeting, Rowley said the money will be used by the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force to retain I'll hear this, and rehire reserve officers and recruits to go into communities to ensure that what has to be built is built. Listen to this.
I will instruct the Minister of Finance to identify immediately $100 million to go inside those communities and do what is not being done, because criminals in there have taken control of those streets and those houses and are making it difficult for government services to go in there and give some people an opportunity for a decent life. There are communities here in the East-West Corridor and elsewhere where a handful of criminals, like Mr. Hines told you, we're going to put up lights in our community, and some miscreant telling them he don't want no lights there. Well, there will be light, because the money that we'll make available, as I'm describing here, will be made available to the Defense Force leadership to retain and to hire reserve officers or retired officers and recruits to go into those communities and ensure that what has to be built is built, where security has to be on the street is there, and where people can rely on them and not on the local don who believes that they're somehow bigger than the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Part of this $100 million going and pay, they want to hire retirees. Now let me just inform you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Those old fry-head retirees and them, understand this, they cross 45, 50, 60. Just like Ola who is 60. These men and them, retired army officials, just like TTPS, they know every gangster, every drug block. When they were members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, they could not fix the drug problem back in their days. They want to re-employ them in this time, them all retirees, to fix it now. Those same retirees and recruits that the government have sitting in army camps throughout Trinidad and Tobago, they want to further spend $100 million now to bring these persons who collect a salary every 30 days. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, who knows where the gangsters are, who knows where the drug plug is, who knows where the cocaine is, who knows who have the guns and selling the cocaine. These police officers and them ain't interfering with these men and them. But the government intend to spend $100 million on the defense force. Make that make sense, Trinidad and Tobago. And I want Keith Rowley and Clungenberg to also make that make sense for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Those old army officials, the retired ones and them, if they couldn't fix the drug block back then, you think they're going to fix it now? When their brains fry up? Or is it that some of his old friends and them, he wants to reintroduce them to the army so that they could collect a salary and another pension? I don't know, Clungenberg and you and Rowley, all make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because if the present army officials and them cannot fix the problem, how in God's world that those old retirees and them from the TNT Defense Force, who some of them done clock 60, go in and fix it now? Trinidad and Tobago, make it make sense. We hire Ola Christopher Haywood, 60 years old, to govern TTPS. And she cannot come up with a plan to give 7,000 officers to rid Trinidad and Tobago of almost 70% of the drugs. If she can't come up with a plan, you would think some old retiree head from TNT Defense Force, you think them go come up with a plan? Them couldn't fix it in them days. They'll go fix it now? All you take chain up if all you want. But I am into security and intelligence. And I could tell you, you see that $100 million is a wasted $100 million that the government go in and spend again. It have schools that need to be repaired. They can't find money. It have roads that need to be fixed. They can't find money. Oh, come now, let's say something. Call a good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You're talking because the 100 million, all the time you didn't study in that the people need, the people support you and put you in power. You understand? And look how many years, and now you want to solve crime? You want to solve crime. Look at the roads, the people can't come out to go to work. The children can't go to school in abundance. You understand? Good night, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. Now, Rowley said, he added that no criminal could take the position that the government must give deference to them because they have gone. But all listen to this man.
I was in the parliament when we had a budget, and the budget had in it a program of affirmative action to treat with young men in the urban areas who had begun to drift away into criminality. And that program was meant to stop that. You know how the UNC described that program? Discrimination. And my party, the PNM, on that occasion, shied away from doing that and go and tell the country that what is in the budget document is a misprint. And they accused me of racism. Well, the chickens have come home to roost. That was 15 years ago. So the boy who was born on that day is 15 years now, and who was 10 years old then is 25 years old. So when I do what I say I'm going to do now, I'm broke no obstruction from anybody on the other side. I will do what has to be done. Because no criminal in this country could take the position that the government must give difference to you because you have a gun or you have access to a gun. The state and the people of Trinidad and Tobago must stand predominant in this country.
Dr. Rowley, I want you to understand something. The people of Trinidad and Tobago is already standing. They're already standing. You want to know why they're already standing? I'll have the clip with the policeman. The police clip. You want to know why they're already standing, Rowley? Listen to this. Let's see if she can get a thing. So trying to make have a clip, a police clip, I want to let it hear. But let me tell you something. This man, apparently, like he realized what's taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. When you hear this officer, when you hear I play this video clip, but this officer saying, I don't want to spoil what he has to say. But let me tell you something. They're trying to work on the clip here just now. Now, Rowley talk about having a gun. A gun? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It have hundreds, maybe thousands of applicants. Business owner and homeowners applied for gun. You think they apply for gun to show off? No, they may apply for gun to show off. Presently, when you have bandits enter, licensed firearm holders home. Licensed firearm holders coming out and barking off their gun and bandits running away. We can't get a COC in Trinidad and Tobago certificate of character. But hold on. Hold on, Trinidad and Tobago. Hold on. We as citizens, let me tell all you something. If all you don't protect all your family at all costs, bandits will take revenge of all your family at all costs. All cost. Keep in mind, ministers and judges have bodyguards to protect them. I want all you to keep them in mind. All you have nothing but a cutlass in all your house. All you have nothing but a piece of 2x4 in all your house. All you have nothing but a slinging shot or a piece of iron in all your house. Take what I telling all you. Some all you have nothing in all your house. Because all you do expect a bandit to come in all your house. And I quite agree with all you. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. We are in a state. The only way for bandits to ease up in Trinidad and Tobago and for crime to take a dip in our country is for police to conduct random raids in the community. Random raids in the community. That is all they need to do. Trinidad and Tobago, the government don't need to go and spend $100 million. They're wasting $100 million. Let me tell you something. Real Talk is security and intelligence. That is part of our division, Real Talk group. You understand? And I can tell you, $100 million going on waste. It's going on waste. If Christopher Haywood, the Commissioner of Police, come out and instruct all senior division officers to conduct random raids in the community. Let me tell you something. You see the level of home invasion and crime we have in Trinidad and Tobago, it going and drop. You know why? You know why? The bandits won't even have the urge and the guts to come out again because they could get killed while coming out. Random raids in the community, random roadblocks, and shake up Trinidad and Tobago. But you know what? You know what? Some of them friends and family might get shaken down in it. Some of them in high position, their friends and their family might get shaken down in it. So Christopher can't come out and say that. Heinz can't come out and say that. And Rowley cannot come out and say that. That is the only thing. You see how Gary used to do it? Random raids throughout Trinidad and Tobago. That is what TTPS have to do presently. Now TTPS trying, you know. TTPS trying. But they don't have a head. The Minister of National Security, chicken without a head. Rowley, chicken without a head. Commissioner of Police, a chicken without a head. You know why? None of them have a crime plan for Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to dealing with crime. None of them. Or is it that they are afraid their friend might be involved in something and they might get hooked up in the raid? You never know. Me? Leave it to me. Let me tell you something. Random raids in the community and you go see how many people going behind jail. You will see how many people have repeated offense in cocaine, marijuana and gun. And as long as you have a repeated offense, no bail. No bail. Where you coming out for? To cause chaos? All you want to fix Trinidad and Tobago? All you want to fix Trinidad and Tobago? That is the way to fix it. That is the way to fix it. But they cannot do that. You know why? They're afraid. They're afraid, they're afraid, they're afraid. Why do you think I'm saying chicken? A chicken has anything so, shh, a chicken gone. Video ready? Listen to what Wayne Meister had to say.
Hello Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to my series, Safety is Everybody's Business. Today we're going to look at home invasions. Here are some safety tips that can save your life. Let me introduce you to the 3 Ds. Deter, detect, and defend. Deter would be criminals from entering your home. Criminals are very lazy. They look for easy targets. So make yourself a hard target. Take a walk inside and outside your premises and check for weaknesses. For example, a broken window or a broken door. Look for areas that an intruder may hide and clear that area. Make sure that your property and your perimeter is well lit. You can install a camera system and alarm system. Make sure your gate and fences are well secured. Detect. Persons may try to enter your home by force or by trickery. And when I say trickery, you may have persons who may be posing as utility persons, even persons who may be impersonating police officers. You have that right to verify the identification. And the final one, defend. Have a plan for you and your family. Have a rallying point. Have a panic room where you can secure yourself and your family in that particular room to buy time whilst you communicate for help. If there's a situation where you can exit your premises safely, then do so. And if there's a situation where you have no other choice but to defend yourself and family from physical harm, then do so by all means necessary. I say no more. Be wise, be safe. I'm Wayne Meister, Assistant Commissioner of Police, acting.
You know what I like there? I like the last part. If you have no other choice. Trinidad and Tobago, we don't know about safe rooms. We don't know about safe rooms. We build a 3-bedroom house, a living room, a dining room, a kitchen area, a washroom, and that is we right there. That is we right there. Right here, right there. You understand? That is we. A 2-bedroom, a living room, dining room, kitchen, washroom, and that's it. But defend if you have no other choice. We have no money. Defend your family at all costs. This is the second officer. This is the second Trinidad and Tobago police officer in a high-ranking position came out and said that defend your family at all costs. You know why? They realize what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Jump my fence and you will see a big bright light. You will see a big bright light. Because I ain't shooting you to kill you again, you know. I do something better than that. I wound in you and let the pit bull and the Rottweiler deal with you. Yeah. Let your family come now and pick you up now and me asking your mother and father, this was your good son? Is this your good son? So here it is, Dr. Rowley wants to give $100 million to the Defense Force. Listen to what Gary had to say. Griffith, right? Here it is now. The Anti-Defense Force have 5,000 strong individual. You know what I'm saying? Them staying in camp. Because they don't have the capabilities to come out and operate as they should. At one point in time, I can't remember which minister said that the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force will only be called out in an emergency. Only in an emergency. Let me tell you something. Storm come and storm go, and they may come out from there. You see if somebody make a threat to the Prime Minister or the President, the army coming out. Let me tell you something. Home invasion rocking Trinidad and Tobago. The police trying their best to fix it and can't fix it. 5,000 strong men sit down in an army camp. Every 30 days they're getting a salary. You're getting food 3 times for the day. You shine. Just imagine you shining a boot and shining a boot and shining a boot. You shining on top of shine. And you oiling down a gun on oil on top oil. Let's talk now. Let's want to talk. Hey. Hines want to talk, Rowley want to talk, Erla want to talk. All only talk and fry egg. All I want to go and hire a set of retired army officials. Them have them brain done fry already. Them know all the drug criminal. You think them gonna? They couldn't fix it in them days. They will fix it now when they retire and they're old. When some of them back bend, some of them have their brain like fry like Erla. No plan. Them is the kind of people you want to go and spend $100 million on. So viewers, we have about 2 minutes left on our program for tonight, viewers. 1 minute left. I just want to say thank you for viewing Real Talk, viewers. You all know that this program is a program that gets things done in Trinidad and Tobago. We got legislations passed, we got road fixed, we got schools repairs, all by bullying the government into doing it. Sorry for using the word bullying, but at some point in time, you had to be like a roaring lion. You had to be like a roaring lion. Hey, we had a school fighter show. The school fighter. Trinidad and Tobago had to show you a school fight. Let me tell you something. There is, I don't know if the girl is 18 or under 18, but I want police to look for this girl. You see tomorrow night on my show? Tomorrow night on my show, we're going to show it. I want police to look for this girl because this girl is an instigator and she should be charged with a criminal offense or instigating a fight. We are out of toy for tonight, but nevertheless, until good night.